Are you aware? Hi, I'm Holly, and today we're going to talk about 3 different levels of awareness that human beings can possess. And why does it even matter? Well, because my channel is on all things healing, from physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, a deepening awareness a lot of the times is required to get to a place where healing is possible. So many people live their lives actually quite aware on a higher dimensional level, and then again, some people go around quite unaware, and sometimes, blissfully unaware of the greater dimensionalities within awareness itself. And it's not a hierarchy, and it's not a matter of better or worse. But first, let's discuss what each level of awareness looks like so that you can decide how aware you are. So Level 1 is essentially a physical awareness only, known as 3D, three-dimensional awareness, only being aware of what one would perceive with the 5 senses, right? These people might be the types who might just, be going about their business, discussing where they went, who said what they bought, what they observed that day, basically just kind of observing life through the 5 senses. Now, Level 2 is having the awareness that we are aware. These people are the ones who might ponder, some of the synchronicities in their life, or, maybe they might question the afterlife, here and there, or, practice using their thoughts maybe to change how they feel. Level 2 awareness might also be questioning why they think the things that they think, or, the awareness itself that they are inside of a body, that they are somehow contributing to their world with their thoughts. At this level, they may be wondering what it's all about, like maybe a little bit of a bigger picture. They're aware that they have awareness. They think about what's out there that's beyond the 5 senses, the 3D, right? Now, Level 3 is like zooming way out. Zoom out, seeing the really big picture, like tapping into consciousness itself, the consciousness of the universe, which is the broader overarching consciousness that is in itself the awareness that humans have the potential to be the awareness of the one who is aware that they are humans having a 3D experience, right? So I know that was kind of a mouthful. So these people might be those who have maybe come through deep challenges or surrender or long journeys in life, those who recognize oneness in humanity, sometimes through deep, trials and tribulations. They end up seeing the divine purpose in all things. These people are those who can oftentimes they can live alone, or maybe they can live with other people as well, but they're okay individually. They can stand on their own. They've had hard times to overcome, but it's helped them expand their consciousness to make it as far as they have in life. And then again, a lot of new souls coming onto the planet, according to a lot of the top channelers out there, they're saying that a lot of people are coming onto the planet with a much higher level of awareness. Like an awareness that they've come from this place of consciousness, and to this place of consciousness they will return. It's like they have a grander awareness, an awareness that they are not their bodies, but rather the consciousness that is aware of their bodies, and the consciousness above that, Level 3, which is the consciousness that has the awareness of those who are in a human incarnation. And so again, does it matter which level a person has reached? Not at all. But all of us are ultimately on a trajectory to become beings who have the awareness that we are much more powerful than we have known thus far, to use our thoughts and our directed energy to manifest things, to heal ourselves, to heal others, to affect great change on this planet, to unite, to tap in to higher levels of consciousness, to communicate with spirit, angels, loved ones on the other side. Take it as far out as you can, to be the master conductors of our life, conducting and commanding mountains to move. The ascended masters, including Jesus, who said, "Greater things than these shall you do," couldn't be more true. It's like we're just coming into the awareness that we aren't helpless, that we are equipped with untapped and now partially tapped knowledge and abilities to use thought and directed energy, cultivating our bioenergetic field, recognizing that all things in life are energy, and expanding our ability to jump past level 1 of awareness, which just says, I am my body. I only see reality with my 5 senses. The stuff is so exciting, isn't it? And then by jumping into the 2nd and 3rd levels of awareness, you realize you have the universe at your fingertips, all at the level of thought. Having the ability to create and manifest and change the entire course of a person's life. Changing a person's life through quantum physics, like timeline jumping or timeline collapsing, where your body experiences instantaneous healing, or what was once your life path suddenly completely jumping to a different timeline. And then level 3 awareness includes the awareness that the universe is omnipresent, including timelessness, where all things occur simultaneously, not in a linear time fashion like it is here on Earth. And when we have this level of universal awareness where we can zoom out to the awareness that is aware of the possibility of all things possible in all of time, the I am consciousness, essentially, life will take you on a completely new trajectory for you, and a new awareness that includes the knowledge that life is eternal. And once a person knows that life is eternal, feeling that in every fiber of their being, they no longer fear death the way they used to. They can see life as a continuum, and they can truly live this life as it was meant to be, free of the constant fears and threats that ultimately are the threats of our life being cut short. That's why all of us run around scared, right? Instead, we can just live in the moment without that fear of dying. Case in point, I have a neighbor who sadly passed recently because they didn't get help. They didn't want anyone to come into their home and see that they had, stockpiled food and ammunition and water, becoming totally immersed in like doomsday paranoia, end of times, Armageddon, all of that kind of mindset. And they actually perished in their home instead of seeking help at the hospital. And later, they discovered the police radio that was playing all day long in their house. And, it's not to judge this person. This person was so kind, but, they'd become really reclusive to the point where they could no longer help themselves if they needed to the most. They wouldn't ask for help. And so if you can expand your awareness beyond even the threat of death, then you'll really have a shot at living this life. I mean, what good is living when you're afraid of dying? Have you really lived at all? So I encourage everyone to spend some quiet time in meditation, tapping into what goes beyond level 1, which is just living through the here and now, day-to-day physical senses, opening up to a higher awareness. Even if it's, just say a prayer to your relatives that have passed, or, call in a spirit guide or the angels. Maybe just a little prayer to the God that maybe you knew as a kid, or if you didn't like that God, maybe say a prayer to just the universe. Call it what you want. Call it, whatever feels good. Call it nothing at all, but expand into that place that is timeless and eternal. A good place to start is just by putting your hand on your heart and taking some deep breaths in through your nose and just sitting in the silence. Try sitting there for 3 minutes. And not only can you do small things to help yourself, but you can help others by asking people questions about, how they feel, going into a deeper place with other people. Rather than what you did or what they did, start changing the structure of your conversations to include things that allow people to tap into their emotion rather than just facts about the day. This is your pathway to opening yourself up to a higher level of awareness and helping them do the same. It's really kind of a cool thing, just by changing little bits and pieces of the way you converse with people, and you can help them get there too. If they're open to it, just ask them slightly different questions. You can't always expect people to go to the new levels where you've gone, but you might even be met with some resistance for kind of changing this up, but you can try. Ask them how they felt about the hard time in their life when they were a kid, or instead of being tempted to talk about yourself, that kind of conversational structure where you're always kind of one-upping each other. Oh, well, I did this, and oh, well, I did this. Oh, well, yeah, but did you ever hear about this? Because that's happened to me. That needs to go bye-bye. that that kind of conversational back and forth doesn't really help anybody deepen or broaden themselves. So these are the little things that we can all do to become deeper, more sensitive versions of ourselves, more tapped into the broader universe. You know, it makes life so much more exciting as well as more calming for all of us when we can just trust that the universe has our back, that we are part of something much greater than our physical body and our physical awareness. Just, you know, the five senses, right? You know, by tapping in a little bit more every day, think about where your awareness will be even in a few weeks. And of course, all levels of awareness are precious and there's no judgment from one level to another. But the more you expand, the richer and more beautiful life can be for you and the people around you. You know, ultimately getting past level 1, that raw awareness of existence, into level 2, which is the awareness that you exist and you're the one thinking your thoughts. You know, into level 3, which is the consciousness, zooming way out into the broader consciousness, that there is such a thing as an awareness of the one who is aware, right? It's so exciting to me to think of these small changes that we can all make to help raise the level of consciousness individually and on the collective level, ultimately being a global agent of change, you and me, making small choices to expand our awareness and help others expand theirs too. It's why I do what I do. You know, making the conscious effort to expand, help people expand in their awareness of themselves and of their ability to heal themselves by tapping into this greater consciousness that exists. And I love to do it on this platform, and I'm going to keep working to build and grow this YouTube channel. And I hope to keep connecting with you through Zoom as well as one-on-one. And if you want a healing and wellness life coach, aka me, to join you on your journey to work with you one-on-one over Zoom, you know that I'm here for you, and you can sign up for my 40 Days to Wellness program or individual sessions at hollyshealinghub.net. And again, please like, subscribe, share, and all of that, which really helps my channel grow. And I will see you on my next day in our 1001 Ways to Heal journey together. Follow me all the way to 1001. We're going to get there, you and I together, healed, healthy, and whole. Have a great day, my friend. Bye-bye.